Eminem in his, I mean, especially in his prime, was a great rap. I mean, he's good now, but he's mostly, I'm screaming at the top of my lungs, just screaming. I mean, doing all sorts of this crap. I mean, and then the Bad Meets Evil album, that was garbage. I mean, come on. It's just, I mean, it's over. Um, but especially in his prime, I mean, he was a great rapper. I mean, lyrically great. I mean, thought provoking. I mean, he said a lot of corny crap, and and a lot of his stuff was immature. But he was a great technical MC. I mean, bar for bar, he was one of the best. But and don't get me wrong, he is a good rapper. I mean, he's not as good as he used to. But stop with this. Eminem is the best rapper ever. He's the GOAT, the greatest of all time. Nobody can top Eminem. He's the great. I mean, he's a good rapper, but he is nowhere near being the greatest rapper. Or, I mean, the sad part is he's probably in my top five, my favorite rappers of all time, or slightly top 10. But if I was making a greatest rappers of all time list, he wouldn't be in the top 10. He'd probably be top 15, top 14, maybe. He's not the greatest rapper of all time. I mean, a couple arguments his stands like to come to me is, oh, he's the best lyricist ever. I mean, bar for bar, he's the most skilled. I mean, no, he's not the best lyricist ever. I mean, his punch. I mean, okay, how am I gonna turn this? Is this 2011 Eminem? I mean, 2011 Eminem is nowhere near being the best rapper alive. I mean, and don't get me wrong, I thought Recovery was a solid album, even though no, I know a lot of people that thought it sucked. But his punch, like Recovery, you have to like, and if you listen to Recovery and like it, even if you like it, you have to go through like so much garbage, like so many corny punchlines, to get to the good like music. I mean, musically it's good, but lyrically it's not as good as the Marshall Mathers LP or the Slim Shady LP. Um, but it's a good album nonetheless. Way better than Relapse. Relapse is probably lyrically and flow wise better because his flow is a little off. Another thing, his flow is just today. I just can't take it. But nothing is so lyrically, he's nowhere near being the best rapper today. I mean, off the top of my head, Lupe Fiasco, Nas, Andre 3000, Elzai, Blue, um, you know, Ghostface. I mean, some of those guys are like old, but they're still lyrically better than Eminem. Eminem in his prime. I mean, I'd take Nas lyrically over him. Jay, Jizza, Lupe, Three Stacks, Ghostface, Rakim, Pharaoh Monk. I mean, there's a lot of better lyrics. I mean, he should probably still be in my top 10, but stop with this. Him is the greatest lyricist. He's not. Um, what else am I gonna say? Another thing, and the big thing that puts Eminem from not being the greatest rapper or not even being close to being the greatest rapper. I mean, he's still a legend in my eyes, but is his catalog. Eminem's catalog is just, it sounds dated. I mean, and he doesn't have that one classic album that can stand up to Nas's Illmatic or a Reasonable Doubt or even a New Age album that I don't even think is really a classic. It's maybe a 4.5, but Lupe Fiasco's Food and Liquor. He doesn't have an album that stands up to that. And most of the time it's because his content. I mean, it's great to listen to, but after a while it just gets like, you know, Slim Shady LP, which is a good album, but how many times have you actually gone back to listen to Slim Shady LP, listen to him killing his mom or all that? I mean, there's some good storytelling on the album, but mostly it sounds dated. I mean, his one album that some people say is a classic, the Marshall Mathers LP. I mean, for the longest time, I used to think this album was a classic, but now looking back at it, it's basically just a four mic album. I mean, it was a good album. Production was good, lyrically was good, but it's just like, I mean, the skits are just disgusting. I mean, they're nasty and they're just bad. Drug Ballad, that song sucks. I mean, they got some good songs on there, but you don't. It's not one of those albums that even a Kanye West, a College Dropout, or Late Registration albums that you can just pull out and then you listen to it front to back. Marshall Mathers LP, even when I pull it out on those rare occasions, it's to listen to 3 to 5 songs and then I just, it hasn't aged well. I mean, people, an Eminem Show, which is another good album, but this is where he starts his sing song flow and singing on songs. I mean, sometimes it works, like Haley's song, but other time it just doesn't work. A lot of filler on that album, Eminem Show, and then Encore, which is straight up trash, aside from 2 songs, like Toy Soldiers, and maybe Spend Some Time. and then Relapse, which was, looking back on it lyrically, it was good, but the content just sucked. I mean, We Made You, come on, nah. Um, Lyrically it was good. Stay Wide Awake was good, but most part it's just disposable. You can't listen to it after a while. Recovery, which I think he should retire with that album. I know a lot of people hated that album, and a lot of people loved it. It was a love hate album. I liked Recovery. I thought it was good. I mean, No Love, Cinderella Man, Love the Way You Lie. I mean, lyrically he dumbed down, or either that or he just stopped being a lyricist. See, this thing, if he would have took Recovery's beats and subject matter and mixed it with Marshall Mathers LP lyricism, he would have a classic album. But it was too late for him to get that type of content that he had on Recovery, which is actually good content. So when you actually think about it, he doesn't have that five mic classic album that a Tupac Shakur has, or Notorious Big, or Nas, or Jay, or even a Kanye West. I would put My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, which is a classic to me, over any Eminem album. So I do Late Registration. I do College Dropout, which is a classic album. Kanye's album is far and away better than Eminem's catalog. His catalog, Kanye's catalog, it's like a no contest. Late Registration is better than anything Eminem ever put out. You know, um, it's true. Lupe Fiasco has a better catalog at this point. Nas's catalog blows Eminem's out the water. I mean, Nas got some classic albums. Illmatic, it was written. Stillmatic. Um, so where would I put Eminem all time? Actually, he's in my top five favorites. But if I'm being critical of him, he'd probably be top 15. I can't put him over Nas, um, Andre 3000, Rakim, Big Daddy Kane, um, Pac, Big, um, maybe even Lupe at this point. Most Def, Common, Ghostface Killer, um, guys like that. He's probably top 15, top 12. And don't get me wrong, lyrically, he's better than Pac and Big. He's better than both of them, I'll admit that. But he doesn't make the same music. He's not, their songwriting blows him out the water, you know? And if you matched, and another thing, it's not just straight raw lyrics. I mean, lyrics are important, but look at Cannabis. He's probably one of the best lyricists I ever heard, but all his albums are garbage. I mean, Eminem's a better songwriter than Cannabis, but compared to I said, he's better lyrically than Pac, but Eminem got no album that's touching Me Against the World, or even the Machiavelli album. None of Eminem's albums are touching those two. Or he's lyrically better than Big, but where's his Life After Death, his Ready to Die, his classic album? He doesn't have that. The closest he came was the Marshall Mathers LP, which is a good album, but sounds dated today. Um, I'm actually surprised I'm bumping the Marshall Mathers LP 11 years later, because, I mean, what made it great upon the lyrics, which were good, but was a shock value. You were shocked that he was saying those things on record. But now that the shock is worn off, it's kind of like, what else do you have? I mean, 15 years later, you can listen to Nas's Illmatic and it sounds fresh. It's lyrically great, the production is still great, and the subject matter is excellent. That's a classic. Um, Slim Shady LP, I really can't bump it to this day. So, as a whole, Eminem is a great rapper. I mean, he fell off big time since 2000. I liked Recovery. I thought it was a good comeback album, but in general, he should retire. I think it's over. But he was a great rapper. Definitely one of the 20 best rappers of all time. I mean, best white rapper ever. But stop with this best rapper of all time. He's the greatest. Nobody could touch him. The great white hope. He's not the best rapper of all time. He's not even the best rapper of his generation. And this is coming from somebody I consider myself a fan of Eminem, but stop it. When you look at it objectively, he's not the best rapper. Even at his peak, 2000, I would say he was maybe a top five rapper. I'd put him behind in 2000. Nas was going through the Nostradamus phase where he was making whack music, so I put him over Nas in 2000. He wasn't better than Jay, Mos Def, or Ghostface Killer. Actually, yeah, in 2000 he was a top five rapper. I give him that. And from 2000 to 2002 he was a top five rapper. I give him that. And after that he fell off. But he was never the best rapper alive. Undisputed, you can't touch him. And if he was never the best rapper, undisputed, you can't touch him in 1 year. You can't be considered the greatest. So Eminem, great rapper, legend, but stop with this best of all time crap. He's not it. And I know his fans are gonna get mad at me and say you're just saying that